Hi, you're tuned in for the Power and Energy News channel, ESI Africa. For this episode, I am speaking with Zadok Olinga, the president of the Southern African Energy Efficiency Confederation. Welcome, Zadok.
Thank you, Nicolette. Thank you for this opportunity to speak to you and to ESI and for generally promoting the SAEEC, the
No
Southern African
problem.
Energy Efficiency Confederation.
So let's start with the theme of this year's event, the energy efficiency building the nation to a cleaner, brighter, and self-sustaining future. What are some of the topics that the guest speakers will be covering, and why have these specific topics been selected?
Okay, thanks. So in preparing for this meeting, I sort of had a thought about energy and the nation. Within South Africa, well, throughout the world, but in South Africa specifically, energy plays a vital role in getting the economy moving. You know, it provides the modus by which work is done. So for South Africa, it's quite a pivotal thing. So when I look at the topics for this year, we've got energy efficiency in buildings and energy performance certificates. This is more targeted at the EPC legislation that has come out, where building owners need to have EPC certificates by December 2022, showing the energy performance of their buildings over a 1 year period. Then we've got the funding of energy business, energy law and policies. We've got energy management systems. We've got energy in the industrial environment and Industry 4.0. And then we've got measurement and verification, which is quite central to the topic of energy efficiency. And then we've got net zero carbon. And then we've got a track dedicated to lighting, sustainable generation, growth, development, and a just energy transition, energy management and resources, and the circular economy. So when you look at all these topics, it's sort of, we've tried to cover a broad range of sectors that are affected by energy and for which energy efficiency is vital. I would say energy efficiency is vital to the entire economy, as well as it's vital to our own daily lives.
I can see that definitely in the topics that you have chosen, and energy
Yeah.
efficiency is found in every aspect, every industry, whether it be in South Africa or Southern Africa or the world. So
Yes, it is.
let's talk a little bit about the lesser known advantages of implementing energy efficiency.
Okay. Well, the simplest one for me is you're going to have a bit more money to spend on toys for your children. I think that's me. Um, the biggest one that we are all sort of aware of is we have limited resources in the world. And in South Africa, certainly we have limited resources. Energy efficiency, I would say, allows us to claw back a bit of margin to allow the economy to grow and a bit of margin to reduce operating costs. And energy efficiency is very much linked to greenhouse gas emissions. So if you're more energy efficient, particularly in South Africa, where our industrial sector and our entire economy is based a lot on the production of energy from coal, by using less energy, then less coal is burnt, and that means we have less emissions. And you could say we'll also have a greener country and a green environment to live in. And a green environment is very good for all of us. For the longest of times, I think, I'm speaking more from a personal perspective here, but, for men, for example, it's been shown that dirty air pollution, can reduce our virility. So having a green environment is actually good for our virility, which means we have more children, which means we have more South Africans, which means we have more people to work and pay my taxes when I'm retired.
That is definitely something that people don't really think about when they think energy efficiency. So moving
Yeah,
on from that, what is
yeah.
the link between energy efficiency and the water sector?
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about virility, but let's talk about water. The link between energy efficiency and the water sector. Well, water's water is another critical resource, which has now become short in supply. And when we look at energy efficiency is the amount of energy used to do a unit of work. So it could be a ton of production. No matter how you measure your work, energy efficiency is a unit used. Is the amount of energy per unit of work. The same applies to water. We can measure water efficiency in terms of the water in liters per unit of work, per unit of work produced. So, and on top of that, to move water around the country, we need pumps. And these pumps consume energy in the form of electricity. So being water efficient also most likely means you're going to be energy efficient. And there are also multiple systems within our built environment and within the industrial sectors that use a lot of water, and they use a lot of pumps to get that water to where it's needed. So using efficient machines and using efficient processes leads then to the use of less water, and then that leads to an improvement in energy efficiency and ultimately water efficiency. So we see the two quite linked.
I think that is going to be one of the key topics that's going to be addressed at the conference. And it is one conference that people should not miss. So viewers, yes, you can register on the link below for the SAEEC conference taking place from the 28th to the 29th of September in Johannesburg. Thank you for watching.